All right, you ready? Dun, 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 dun. Kilted Balls! Woo! Haha! Thanks for joining us for another Kilted Balls podcast. I think, I'm not sure, this is like our 70th or 71st episode, not counting interviews. Isn't that crazy? Oh, and yeah, congratulations to you, good sir. And here's the crazy cool thing, people. We're streaming live right now. So we're actually streaming this at the same time we are doing it. So I'm gonna jump to my other screen here, Kilted, while you're talking, and I will post that we are streaming, right? Yes, I did see that for sure. I hope he does come on here, right? Today was. You got 7 of them? Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. Out of how many? Yeah, right. Exactly what they told you it would be, right? Exactly what they told you it'd be. I meant to watch the TikTok and I didn't. I feel kind of bad. I thought they looked really cool when I was looking at them. Yeah, everybody's in a different spot. So, yeah, I miss those guys. I look at their stuff every once in a while. Don't listen to their podcast. Sorry, hideous laughter, but I often am, checking that out. Stop. One. Nice. That's awesome. Oh, it's those you got to eat those fresh. Ugh, that's the shirt Callium wore today. He wore that shirt. So you got 7 book games. Now that's not the purchase. That was just the drawing to let you know. Okay. Oh, I this was to put you on the white list to buy them. And if you're wondering how many of these I got, it was 0. So, but the reason why is I sold my book games. So they started to jump up in price, and I had, one, and I thought, you know what? I don't want to take the risk on one because I think the price is going to tank afterwards. And so I sold it kind of near the high. Yeah, right. Give or take. Really? Right. Right, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I thought you were paying 1,000 and calling it good, and that was my thing. I didn't want to wait for a chance to pay 1,000. I'm like, I'm just going to cash out, and I'm still happy I did. So, because I didn't know if I was going to get one. So, okay, nice. Oh, nice. Really? That's like super cool, I think. Right. I didn't have enough to burn, and I wasn't going to buy enough to burn. So, hmm, wow, nice. All right, so are you going to buy it if you don't? I'm saying on secondary, yeah. Like if you don't get it, you're going to go get it on secondary. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Oops, sorry, people. My Discord came up on the wrong screen. I was jumping to our next segment. No, I did it, not you. Nice. All right. No, that's super exciting. I'm super excited for you. So I think that's good. I think that's good. Um, so the next thing is as you know, actually, it might have been after our last thing. So we got into the non-fungible miners, the NFMs, and we talked a little bit about it last time. We were kind of excited about the project. They were going to have their own currency. They were doing their own stuff, and basically, you were becoming part of a like a Bitcoin mining company. I really liked the idea because one of the things we've talked about in lots and lots of episodes is this is a great NFTs are a great way to fund a business. And people can have direct ownership like stocks, but without all the regulations, which is probably why it's going to get regulated, right? So, I mean, that's right. That's like a thing. So, that's one of the things we keep talking about. Like, hey, eventually people will use this to start business. And we saw that with Stoner Cats, right? That was one of the things I really liked about Stoner Cats. They used the NFTs to fund their filmmaking thing. And um, I thought that was really, really smart. And so that was what was going on with the NFMs. And I'm going to tag them in my Twitter thing right now so they can see that we're chatting about them, right? No, no. So all we did was I was jumping on their Discord, and then that made me think, oh shoot, I better get on OpenSea as well. Because I think there was reveal. So that's the big thing. We've got two things. The first one is the reveal is today. The NF miners are having a big Discord party tonight for the reveal. And if you remember, we got three of them during the pre-mint. So during the pre-mint, you were allowed to mint three. We minted three right away. Um, and we liked the project and we were in. So the pre-mint ended and they had a few issues with their web page. Their web page wasn't quite working. And so one of the cool things is I minted from the contract, which I'd never done before. So that was yeah, that was cool. So I learned how to mint from a contract, got kilted one. We were pretty happy. They didn't do all whitelists. So they had 2,500 reserved, I think, for the whitelist, if I remember right. Each person could buy three. Not everybody bought them. And so they were like, well, that kind of sucks. But they were doing it for 24 hours. So after the 24 hours, they went public and they reduced the price because Ethereum was going up. So when we bought in, I think Ethereum was around 3,000. When they listed, it was around 3,400 and gas was going up. So they said we're going to lower the public price down to 0.12 Ethereum and we're going to see where it goes. And again, it was only for 24, 48 hours, I think, or something like that. Well, there was a span in there where for 14 hours nobody minted. Nobody minted at all. And they said, okay, nobody's minting, we're done. We're getting rid of the supply. And so they just stopped it. So it's interesting because another group that we love, the 8.1, did the same thing. They said, you know what, we're not going to extend this, we're not going to keep doing this. It's just going to become rare. Well, the NF miners did another thing. And so they're discording this and tweeting this out, but they said, listen, we haven't made any sales. We're going to throw out our white paper, our roadmap. We're going to toss the roadmap. And what we're going to do is we're going to limit this to 666 miners. And instead of doing our own currency right now, and instead of doing all of these different things, we're just going to pay everybody directly. So every quarter, we're just going to deposit the miners' earnings. And so it's only going to be in a very small group, and maybe we'll do something different in the future. But you guys are going to be our Genesis group, and we're going to make sure that you all are well paid for trusting us. And they go, and by the way, there's 20 left. Or ball buster, either way. Yeah, so I had already started one, and then I thought, shoot, I don't want to take one away from Kilted if he really wants one. So I didn't mint. I had it open, I had the mint button clicked, but I hadn't confirmed the transaction yet, right? And the really cool part, so like it was the 666 club, they like he was on there and he bought two and he's like, oh, they're all sold out. And I was like, dang it, I never hit confirm. And he's like, wait a second, I'm wrong. There's one left. And so I hit confirm and I got number 666. So I got the last one. Everybody, it's now called the 666 group. So like the people in the Discord, the Genesis group is called the 666. And so between us, we've got six of them. So we're pretty excited about those six. We're excited that they're going to be paying us directly. And we're excited to see where it goes. We were excited before they changed anything. And now we're excited. And here's one of the cool things they did. And the 8.1 didn't do this, and I'm not holding it against the 8.1. I think the 8.1 is amazing. But one of the things that the NFMs did is they said, you know what? You guys are our Genesis. We are going to go through and change the contract to make sure that you guys get the good ones. You're not going to get commons. You're not going to get junk miners. You get the good ones. Well, then they delayed it. So the reveal was supposed to be yesterday. And then they came in and they said, sorry, when we did the initial like push out, we realized that the ones that are in our wallet, so they still had their own, they said, we got some of the rarest ones. And we said, nope, they go to our community. So we had to take those as individual miners and give those to people who had less rare ones so that the developers didn't get the rarest ones. Right? Like I'm like, that's caring about the community. Well, but they're on the Discord and stuff, and if they want to jump it, they can jump on here. I tweeted at them. So if they want to join us live, and if they are, yay that you're here. I am going to share my screen with you. Mine are popping up. So I can share my screen and you could probably share yours, but I've been refreshing the metadata. So I don't know if you have been doing that, but I've got three of them. Well, you should be able to see it. I don't have to share my screen anymore. You don't have to. You don't have to. But so anyway, here is so far, this is my favorite one, people. Look at that guy. He is got like squid ears, vomiting green goo, and is got some pretty rare traits, depending on how you like those things. I wish OpenSea had like a gallery thing where you could like flip through them, right? Um, I don't know what this is, kilted, but maybe it's a laser. So there's that. So I love the artwork of them. I love how they look. I think they're pretty freaking sweet. And sorry, things are running slow. We're doing taping. Oh no, no way. Wait till you see this one. I didn't, I hope those are Bitcoins. Oh, they are. You gotta wait. You gotta wait for the reveal. So the way we're streaming right now is there's a 20 or 30-second delay. If you remember, once we did a live episode before, and we had a bunch of not nice people on it, and we didn't like that they were posting things that we didn't like. And so this time we set up a delay so that if anybody's being dirty, we can catch them. Oh, what? I did not say that. I think what I actually said was whichever is the most common, that's the one you get. So, oh man, I've got one. Ah, yeah, right. Oh man, people, I am so sorry. It's still not revealed. And I'm really excited because this one, if I remember right, is my 666. I hope it's awesome. Yours haven't popped up? Dang it. Well, sorry, friends, sorry, but there is a reveal. Kilted, when he has his, will share it with us so that we can see it. But yeah, so that's cool thing. I did suggestion in the Discord, and I don't know, whether they're going to take it or not. But I said, hey, it might be cool instead of changing it to Ethereum to just deposit straight as Bitcoins. It may save you some fees, right? So I'm like, I don't know if you guys want to do that, and I don't think they ever answered. I did see you answered. Yeah. So another thing they revealed recently, and some people I saw in the general were trying to get them to do something else, and I haven't listened to the AMAs, but they uh, they revealed that they're getting the miners online ASAP. So I forget how many they said they got, a few. And right now it looks like the payout is going to be, I think it's 0.012 Ethereum every month. So some people were like, no, 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 keep all of our money and buy more miners and give us more money later. Like we'd rather you reinvest it. And I believe they had said during the AMA, yeah, that's not what we're going to do. That like we have it built in to buy more miners. We want to get you guys rewards fast. So, I'm trusting them. It's their project. If that's what they want to do, yay. But if you're doing quick math, each miner we paid 0.12 plus gas. If the payout is 0.012, means in 10 months we've got our Ethereum literally back in our wallets. Not like, oh, we might get that money back someday, right? Like with all the others, with all the tokenomics, they're saying, we'll give you these tokens and maybe someday you can cash them in. They're going to be literally airdropping Ethereum into our wallets, and it's going to be 0.012, which is going to add up to the price of the miner in 10 months, which means in 10 months, we'll get it back. OpenSea, last time I looked, which isn't today, um, the lowest priced miner on there was 0.27. So we paid 0.12. We could double our money right now. I have no intentions of doubling my money. Right? Like, that's the thing. If you can get yourself even, you are doing pretty doggone well, right? Yeah, right. Like to have that just popping in all the time. Oh man, 666 is not revealed. Mm, eh. For which thing? Which thing did I double? Okay, so here's the thing. Here was my thought process today. So, as you know, Kilton and I have been swing trading, which while I was on vacation, I was still swing trading, not paying a lot of attention, listening to a little bit of Crypto Lifer. So, if you ever get a chance to listen to the Crypto Lifer podcast, we've talked about him before, and doing some swing trading. And at the beginning, I was pretty excited because I was making 10% pretty regularly on what I was doing, which was not very many days, right? So I'm jumping on, making my 10, jumping on with a few different things. And it was funny because at one time we went to a gift shop on vacation. We walked there, went to the gift shop, which it was a turtle sanctuary. So I'm all about giving to sanctuary. So we spent money at their gift shop, came home, and I think I had put in, I'm doing everything in chunks of 500 right now. So I have all these 500 chunks. I'm doing the future market, which is what Kilted had suggested would be fun, which is, by the way, gambling with extra information involved, right? So you're following trend data, but you're gambling. You can lose all your money, you can make money. Um, and we got home and I was like, hey, how much did you spend at the gift shop? And my wife was like $64. And I'm like, haha. While we walked there and back, I made $64. And she's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, because I bought it as we walked out the door and I sold it when I walked back in. And it was a 5X long. And I was like, yeah, the market was pumping. And so I started doing some other ones where I'm like, ooh, I'm going to listen to crypto on this one. And I'm going to listen to me on this one and just gamble it. And so I'm playing it and loving it. And then it all stalled. You can. Well, the problem wasn't that. The problem was all of my money was tied up in future. So every time I got a future, I put it in something else. Like I couldn't not have the money working. Like Kilted kept telling me, it's okay to just breathe. It's okay to breathe. Nope. As soon as I cashed out, I put it in something. So by doing that, here's the problem. By doing that, the market kept going kind of up. I kept doing that, which meant I was always putting in at the top. Well, then it hit the top, it hit resistance and everything dropped. So now I'm sitting there with all my money tied up, slowly waiting. And I did have one go to zero. So Kilted and I now both have the experience where we've gone to zero on apes. So bad gamble. The apes, by the way, was the one crypto suggested. Remember, you were like, oh, was it apes? And I was like, no, Gala was my gut. And I made my money. Apes was him, and it went to zero on me. I was like, gosh darn it, which is why you stop losses. That is financial advice. Use stop losses. Hmm. Well, and I'm still looking at mine going, all right, they're all down. I should put a stop loss on. Nope. Nope. So none of mine had stop losses. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's it. They're 5X's. So you lose money really fast, but you gain money really fast, which happened today. I had one that was dropped and all of a sudden it popped up. And I was like, ooh, should I do it? And it dropped and then it popped back up and I sold it. And I was super happy because I cashed out some of my money. It was really small, but that made me think, why don't I play with the 100X? So if you're paying attention to what we've been talking about, if you do a futures 100X, here's how it works. If the stock goes up 1%, you double your money. You double your money. So if it goes up just 1%, you get 100% returns, which means, by the way, if it goes up 0.1%, you get your 10X, which is what our goal is right now is to 10X. So I'm like, if I'm feeling really confident, I'm going to do it. Here's the negative. If it goes down 1%, you lose all your money. You're gone. Poof, it's gone. So that's the trick, right? Like if it goes up 2%, you just tripled your money. So you can do some really fun things, but you can lose it all really, really fast. So I'm like, I'm going to try this. And so on paper, I always think, and this is financial advice, always do your trades on paper for a while and see if you're right. See if you're knowing what you're doing. See if your system works for you. See if you're getting them right. Then you can start dipping a toe into the real water where the sharks are. So I did that, and I'm talking Kilted through text. I'm like, okay, I'm doing one. I'm going to buy it now. And then I'd be like, okay, I just sold it. And he's like, wait, that was really fast. I'm like, yep, I made, I think 20 or 30%. And I was like, I'm out. And then I said, here goes my next one. Boom, I'm buying it. And I'm buying, and I told him which one I was buying, told him, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I'm selling it and I'm out. And I doubled my money in those two trades. Like I was like, boom, boom. So when I got home, I was like, I'm going to do this. And so I was watching Ethereum and I was watching like the minute and the 3 minute and the 5 minute, super short time. And I'm like, watching, I'm like, oh, it's there. Bye. And I'm watching it and it's not going up very fast. Like it was going up, but like it was going up 0.1. And I'm like, what is going wrong? Yeah, I didn't click 100X. It was still on 5X. So, dang it. And now that means my money is now tied up in Ethereum. because yeah, it needs to go up 2% for me to get my 10% goal, and it's not going to go up 2%. Well, and I probably will with like that one. Like that one, I was like, if you hit even, I might sell you. Something else I noticed, and maybe you can tell me this because I'm new to swing trading. When I'm looking at my futures, does it charge you like every day an amount? Because yeah, so like it tells you when you're looking at your futures for people who don't do this, it tells you what you've actually gained or lost over time. And so like when I first did it, like my gain and loss was like $2. And I was like, oh, that must be the fee. Well, like now all the ones that I've been sitting on forever are at like $7 or $8. Yeah, it was. But then every day. And so normally we're swing trading, so we're doing it every day, so we don't notice. But for me this time, like some of these things, I've had positions on them, well, for almost a week now, right? So I've been sitting on these for a week and I've got to sit there and wait. And I was really hoping today would be a nice bull and I would get my money back, but nope. And oh my gosh. Listen, those are amateur numbers. You ready? So these are my percentages that I'm losing: 13%, 25%, 46%, 27%, 70%. Yes, that's worse, right? That's the percentage I'm down. Yeah. So mine is 70%. You have one lower than 70, worse than 70% negative. That's how far percent I'm down. Yeah, well, because you and I bought Jasmine at the same time. So crypto was like, look at Jasmine. And we're like, yeah, look at Jasmine. And we're like, yeah, that's going to go up. And we both bought Jasmine and that darn Jasmine. Now, luckily, I didn't put a lot of money into Jasmine, like a couple $100. It was my profit, but it's still down 70%. Stupid Jasmine. Yeah. Oh, oh my gosh, so jealous. I was looking at that for one of my 100x type trades, which, by the way, that was something else I realized. I might not have doubled my money on paper because I was doing 100x's, but I didn't look. Some things you can't 100x. Yes. Hmm. Okay. Nice. Right? Well, it's just, I mean, I get that that's like really gambling. That's like for reals gambling. But like if we were in a bull market right now, like if all of a sudden we started getting our other stuff, I'd be going 100X's. Mm-hmm. Right. Well, my thought was you know what, if you could do it for an hour or two every day, you picked some time and you were like, you know what, I'm gonna go trade for an hour. Right. And you're just in there playing the numbers. And I was thinking, well, and I was thinking you do it and you do $100. And you do $100 and you only do 100 and you keep doing it. Boom, boom, boom. And then when you get another 100, you do two of them. And I don't know how many you can do at once, like mentally, but you do that a few. And then, if you have some that lose, you're still got it, right? Like I even thought do 100 and then put the other 100 somewhere safe. So then you're playing with the house's money and then who cares? No, no, right. Well, and that's saying like if you did $100, if you did $100, you're talking about for us, we would spend that when we were in college, we would spend $20 at the casino. Today, $20, $100 is the same as $20 when we were in college, right? Because we're old, right? So I'm like, it's just like gambling, and you do $100 and you just play. And like I said, you play for a couple hours, and if you're get good, yeah, and again, you gotta play the trades that are working, but you could make probably some stuff. That's exactly what I was doing today. I was drawing my wedges and saying, okay, when you hit the bottom of my wedge, and I'm looking at my statistics, I'm like, okay, now, and I was also looking at where everybody was buying. So I've got that going. I'm like, okay, now everybody's about to go. Like, brrr, buy, right? And I was just planning, and I'm like, you saw my text, I was planning on 1 minute trades. Like, okay, now sell it for 10, sell it for 20, and get out of Dodge, right? So, but yeah, I think if it was a bull market, you could do that easy. And you might be saying, yeah, but what about a bear market? When you do futures, you can short. So you do the exact same thing, but the opposite. Yes, right. The only time you couldn't play that game effectively, you could always probably play it pretty good if you got good with your data. But the only time you got to be scared is when the market's steady. Then it becomes scary because you're not doing any of these for a long period of time. Right. Then you start playing with the alts. It's just harder to get 100X's. So my miner hasn't come up. I put no, and I put more money into looks, people. So if you know, we're really bullish on looks. They've started a new staking mechanism that pays you 238%. Actually, I'll look right now. So we're big supporters now of Look Rare, which is probably where we should be doing stuff. So, um, yeah, heck yeah. Well, so far with my new staking, I've earned 50 looks, which is which is like $100, right? Looks is down right now, I think. I added more. I added more looks, but it hasn't gone through to be staked yet. So the gas must be too high for it. Um, and in that same time, I've made $66 in wrapped ETH. So that because I kept my old staking mechanism. So my wrapped ETH is going up the same amount. Well, not the same amount, about 30, $40 less than my looks. Um, but if you add it all together, it's about 70 a day-ish, right? And we talked about last episode or the episode before that in my worldview, if you can get your passive income to $100 a day, you should be happy with life. You should be happy with life, right? Because that'll translate into big gains fast because it's exponential. It's exponential, so it goes fast. So that's some business advice. That was a funny conversation I had, and we can leave the episode with this in our live stream. So if you joined our live stream, thanks for joining. And if you're just watching the episode, yay, thanks for being here. And that is, I was talking about different sales we were making while I was on vacation with some family, and they were like, I think I was like talking about the miners, right? And they were like, yeah, but it's not real money. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, well, you can't spend it. And I'm like, they're like, well, how would you spend it? And I go, well, let me give you three different examples. And they're like, what? And I'm like, well, first, I go, I don't have one. I go, but people I know have debit cards. And he's like, what do you mean a debit card? I'm like a bank card. And it takes it from their cryptocurrency. Like they pay at Meyer. Because he was like, well, you can't use Bitcoin at Meyer. I'm like, actually, you can. They have a debit card and you swipe it at Meyer. And they were like, well, how does that work? To when my wife chimed in, which cracked me up, she was like, well, how does it work when you're in Europe and you use your debit card? And they're like, well, and she's like, it's the same thing. You're just using your debit card, and it doesn't matter what currency it's in, it pays that currency and takes it out of your wallet at home. So when he's using his Bitcoin debit card, it's just using it. So he was like, oh, I didn't realize that. I'm like, yeah. I go, like, Kilted recently was like, I'm getting rid of this stuff. I can't remember what it was, but I was like, he's like, yeah, but now what's he doing? Oh, no, I used mine. I go, so for me, I go, I had all this Bitcoin, and they're like, right. And I go, so I took it out and I bought Ethereum. And I go, and then I bought Looks. And he's like, well, yeah, but it's still in there. I'm like, no, I spent it. I spent it twice. I go, literally, they're going to tax me on it twice. I go, so I spent it. I go, I could have spent it on anything. I personally chose to buy Ethereum and I personally chose to buy Looks, but it was me choosing what to buy. So I go, there's another way where you can just go ahead and buy it. And I go, and the final thing is, and Kilted knows this, I'm constantly, and so is he, putting our money into US dollars in our trading platforms. We turn our Ethereum into dollars, then we turn the dollars into Looks or Bitcoin or Gala or Townstar, and then we turn it back into dollars. So we're always turning it into dollars. We just go back and forth. So, right, I don't do any of the trades where it's the same stuff. Do you? Yeah. Yeah, I use that 90% of the time. Actually, 100% so far. I think I tried it once and was like, nope. So, yeah, I'm like, no. Yeah, I'm like, this is too hard to figure all of this out. So, anyway, people, I think that's going to wrap it up. Thank you so much for joining us either for the live stream or for the actual video. Please like, please subscribe. And if you like our content, please keep tuning in. We'll continue to talk to you about our staking adventure. Hopefully, we've got some big bullish news here by the end of the week. That'd be great. So. Yeah. Comment on the video, comment on Twitter, Kilted Balls, and we'd love to hear from you. So, anyway, this is Ballbuster signing off. And for those of you watching the stream, we are going to end that as well.